Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my weekly update for December 15th, 2019. Anyway, coming to you after a weekend with my parents. I went down to my parents' house, which is about an hour and a half away, in order to help to set up for Christmas, because we were having Christmas at my parents' house, not at my house, so I don't have to clean and set things up. So I went down and helped them out to get their tree up and all the most of the decorations up. Mom will, she'll put other little things here and there, but we did the majority of that stuff this weekend. So that was nice. And my grandmother, my 96-year-old grandmother, came over, and we all went to lunch, and then we hung out, and she was there while we did the tree. So that was good for her to see that. And then then later my parents fed me awesome enchiladas, which I have leftovers. I'm excited for tonight. Anyway, so this morning I just got in the car and left early. Sorry. So no shower this morning. Sorry. Well, so we're just gonna go with this. Anyway, that was there. I'm a little out of it. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk about the books that I read this week. The books I DNF'd, and the ones I'm in the middle of, and then I don't really know what I'm going to read after that, but I'll talk about that later. Work has been extremely stressful, and I don't know what to, it's been hard, and I do not like overtime. I don't know about you guys. I work about 8.5 hours, kind of on average. I would say that kind of is what happens. But I worked, the last couple weeks have been 9 to 9.5 to 10-hour days. I'm a little bit over 10, and I'm just tired. So by the end of this week, I was pretty exhausted, and I didn't read a whole lot. And so I haven't read a whole lot this weekend either, except from an audiobook, which I'll explain. But I don't know how this week is going to be, because it's the week before the holiday, and I'm taking off Monday and Tuesday, so I'm going to get a 5-day weekend after 5 days of working, which will be awesome. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, to get some stuff done around my house, even though I don't have to have family over. Anyway, but my reading has been, I'm not going to say it's like I'm in a slump or anything. It really is, I just get home from work and I was too tired to really focus on anything until kind of really too late at night, and then I'd start reading, and then I'm like, I got to go to bed. So anyway, it didn't work out. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the books that I finished, as I said. So let's talk about, both of them were really great books. So the first one I finished was Just Mercy, A Story of Justice and Redemption by Brian Stevenson. Oh my gosh, this was phenomenal. I am still stunned that this sat on my shelf for 2 years and I could not get myself to pick it up. I did pick it up for Olive's book, from a Book Olive, her BookTube Common Read. I did not participate in the forums. That's just because I knew I was reading it differently. I'm not always good about a daily set number. Clearly that didn't work for me. I read, in the first 2 days, I read 5 days worth, and then I didn't read it for the 3 or 4 more days. And then I read the whole last half on Sunday, which I didn't plan to. I actually was going to split it up with on Monday and finish it out, because her read-along was between December 1st to the 9th. So I was planning to finish by the 9th, but I finished it on Sunday, and I'm really glad I pushed through and did that. It was just so good. This deals with the criminal justice system in the U.S. and mostly focusing on cases that people were on death row, and it was just it was a lot more harrowing than I expected on certain points. It was also heartbreaking, and it was informative, and it just made you think about certain things that I hadn't really thought about in a little bit, which I'm glad that it did make me question certain things. So he is a lawyer who is a nonprofit that helps people who are on death row with their appeal process, and it was fascinating. I mean, most of it was in Alabama. I think it starts a little bit in Georgia when he started, and then moved on from there. But I think again, it makes you think about, you have to understand what the term reasonable doubt actually means, and that we should actually apply that if there is reasonable doubt, we should not be, or certain things should not happen or get to the level of death row. So it was really As I said, it was really heartbreaking, but also so frustrating, and it opened up a lot of questions, a lot of things. I want to pick up some other books that deals with different topics of this. It was a very thought-provoking book. I think it is a book that most people should read. I think this is very important, at least U.S. citizens should read and see kind of the other, like something that not everybody sees, that side of the defense side. And I think it was just a wonderful written book, and I'm so glad I finally read it. I'm mad at myself that I waited so long, but I'm glad that I finally picked it up. So it was really awesome. I also finished my reread of North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. I was listening to this on audio by Juliet Stevenson, which I would recommend. It was really well done. I started this in Victober as my reread prompt for the prompt for rereading a favorite or rereading a Victorian classic. And I had read this about 1.5 years ago, and I love it just as much this time around. I just love the way it comes together in the end. And again, it has to do with Margaret Hale, who is from the South, and her parents have lived there, and then due to circumstances with her father, they moved to a northern city that is more industrial. So it's the rural South, the industrial North, and the differences of outlooks and opinions, and how life is in those different areas. And then we see people who work in the mills and the people who own the mills, so we get to know John Thornton, which I love. John Thornton, he's one of my favorite characters anyway ever. It's just awesome. I just love this book. And I can't, so again, I've reread this. I read this 1.5 years ago, and I did try to pick up Mary Barton earlier this year. I think like February or March, there was a read along on Instagram, but I just got caught up in some other things. Obviously, there's so many books out there, so I need to I'm gonna focus on getting that one read early in the year, next year. But I want to read more of her books. I have all of them, as well as her biography on Charlotte Bronte, which I might read like for maybe nonfiction November if I get that far. But we'll see. I don't know. Well, it's out there. Oh well, let's see what happens. I have so many of her books, and again, I am still shocked that I did not know anything about her until I got onto BookTube. Because, I mean, again, I don't remember her name ever mentioned on any of in the English classes, college level that I took, and I graduated with a bachelor in English. I didn't hear anything about her, and I'm still upset about that I could have picked her up back then and already read all those books by now and be enjoying my rereads. But anyway, so I reread this, loved it again, can't wait to read more of her books, hopefully some in the new year. And then I DNF'd a book, and I'm not super surprised I DNF'd this. I was struggling already, and I did try to do the thing where you try to read 10 to 15 pages a day to try to get it done, but I found it such a slog that every time I picked it up when I got home from work, and I was working so hard, well, to me, I was working so hard, I was working a lot of hours, that I just hated it, that I had to pick that book up and read 10 pages just to make progress. And Thursday night was pretty much the breaking point. I read 2 pages and I went, okay, I am done. Like, I can't handle this anymore. And that is Vernazzas Dome, How a Renaissance Genius Reinvented Architecture by Ross King. Now, this is not a bad book, or written badly. This more has to do with how I want history, I guess. This is talking about the Florence's Cathedral, Santa Maria de Flore, and how they created the dome, which is phenomenal in the early 1400s. There are some really good points in here, but there's also a lot of architecture stuff that I don't quite, not that I don't understand, but I don't grasp quite as strongly, maybe. I don't retain it. And so I'd get to a little bit later and they'd mention something again. I'd be like, oh, what was that about again? I don't remember. Again, the short chapters are not long. There are pictures in here, like of certain things, like some mathematical things that, again, I'm not, and it said they have pictures of things. It's fascinating in one way. It's just, but it was also, I don't know. It just was hard for me to read. And I got to the point where I got to page 109 out of 160, I think 7. And I just couldn't do it anymore. I was just like, I'm tired. And I know I only have like less than 60 pages, but I couldn't do it. And it did take me a long time to get to 109. Because I did start this in the middle of November for Nonfiction November. And then I could only read it a little bit every night. And I just like, I'm wasting time. So I picked up other books in the middle. And then I came back to this, and as I said, I've been trying to plug at it. And it was a hard first 50. The second 50 was just as hard. Now I'm like, I'm done. So unfortunately, this just didn't work out for me. So I still think the subject matter is interesting. I wish I connected more with it than I did. So, but I'm going to let that one go. And then I also picked up the last of my holdovers from Nonfiction November, and that is John Adams by David McCullough. I listened to this on audio starting on Saturday when I went down to visit my parents, so I got a couple of hours there and back listening to this in my car, which was great. So I was already about a third of the way. Now I'm just a little bit over half. I still have I think I have like at least 14, 15 hours left to this audiobook. But it is so good. We just did the whole section of I just finished the section where he was in Europe. He's now coming back to the US after being gone for 10 years. And, I'm excited to see what happens next. I mean, again, I know certain things happen. Anyway, considering he is one of my, presidential, biographies that I want to get done. But this book is really good. I really am enjoying it. I definitely want to, I want to finish this book before the end of the year, but I'm not gonna get mad at myself if I don't. Again, if it's 15 hours, and I mean, again, I know this is the 15th, so I technically have 15, 16 days to do that, but some of those days I'm going to be off from work. Some of those are going to be like driving down to my parents' house for Christmas, and I won't be able to listen to the audiobook because my brother will be in the car. So, I mean, I just don't know if I'll finish it. I'm going to make a dent in it. Hopefully I'll get close to the end. But I will try to get by the end of the year. But I'm not promising I will. It would be nice if I did. I won't guarantee that. And I cannot remember the author, the narrator. The narrator, I mean, I'll write it down below. He is the slowest narrator I have ever had, I feel like. I have to turn him up so fast because he just pauses all the time. And I'm like, oh my God, come on. Anyway. I mean, he speaks well. Like, I like that part of it. It's just, he pauses a lot and he's slow. Anyway, some of them are like that. That's just, oh my gosh. Anyway, and so the book that I'm physically reading and trying to focus on is Revenant Gun by Yuhua Lee. This is the third book in the Machineries of Empire series. This is a science fiction series starting with 9 Fox Gambit and then Raven Stratagem. Both 5-star reads for me. Some of my favorite books from 2017. So this book came out in 2018. I just did not get to it that year. Just things happened. So I wanted to read this. So back in May, I reread, April and May, I think, I read 9 Fox Gambit and Raven Stratagem, and I loved them all over again. It was just awesome to be reading those. I got so much out of them the second time. It's just amazing. And then I started this book, and I got about 140 pages in and kind of simmered out. I was kind of tired by that point of that much sci-fi altogether. I probably should have spaced them a little bit more. But I did enjoy it. It's just, I think things happened at work in the middle of May. I don't remember now what happened. But anyway, so this was one of the books that I had not completed this year that I really want to finish to, get the series completed. So I decided after reading a page or two from the 140, which I stopped at, 6 months ago, or over 6 months ago, that I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to restart from the very beginning. I just want to get the whole story again. And I'm so glad I did, because I did not remember all the details that do come out. Yuhua Lee is so good about putting little things in, and then later you kind of realize how significant that is. And so to me, it was so worth it to go to read the 140 pages again. So I didn't quite make it yet this week. I'm at 130. So I'm almost, so today I'll cross over the point where I stopped last time. I was hoping to get some read yesterday, but I was with family, so it just didn't happen. I read something else that was at my dad's house that I don't have, but whatever. It was just that day. But I do want to get this done this week. My goal, as I said, I have 300 pages left. I think it's about 430 pages the book is. So again, I'm 300 pages from the end. I'm hoping to get this done by Friday, but we'll see how the work week goes, because I'm not sure. As I said, the last couple weeks have been hard, and then I'm taking off Monday and Tuesday, and then we get the holiday for Christmas. We'll get that too, so I'll get 5 days off. So I'll get a lot of reading done. I'm hoping this will already be done by that point, and then I can focus on some other stuff. But I love this. It's just, but it requires my brain, and I guess what I'm trying to say is that because my work week was so hard by the end of the week, I was fried out and I just could not focus. So I was watching a lot of BookTube and Vlogmas. But I need, when I read Revenant Gun, I need as few distractions as possible. It is one of those ones where I get sucked into, but I can't have, like, I'm very good about reading stuff and having the TV running or music playing or other things going on, and I usually can focus really well. But this one just requires a little bit more concentration due to the fact of this sci-fi nature. Has a lot to do with like stratagems with math, and the way this world is, there's three, we're following three perspectives in this one that are all very important, and all, well, I want to know what happens with them. And so it's very important to figure out, to be paying attention. And I just feel like with the TV on, I don't get as much done. So this week I'm gonna probably spend some time where I don't have the TV on when I'm reading for a while, at least to get to a certain point every day, just so I do want to try to get this done by Friday. If I can get as most done before that, that would be great. And then I can, Friday I can finish it up, or hopefully maybe Thursday, I don't know. It matters how much I get done today. Today is, yeah, as I said, it's a slow start so far today, but this is my goal for this week. Is the focus is I really want to make really good headway on this and finish this out so that the series is done, and then I can pick up the short story collection maybe next year pretty early. Again, I don't do short stories very well, but I love this world and I want to read more about these characters already. Like, again, the characters in here, oh my god, my cat just almost fell off the desk. I'm sorry. He jumped from the chair and his butt didn't quite get over. Sorry. I wish I had a picture of that. Anyway, but I want to read the short stories because all the characters in here are awesome. And I have read a couple of short stories that were released early, or like, as ebooks and stuff. I read 1 or 2 of them, and I definitely want to read the rest of them. So anyway, so I want to finish this. This is my goal for the week. So I don't know what I'm going to pick up after that. It just depends on my mood. I have a couple classics I would like to finish up or start. I do have a historical romance that I kind of want to read because it's a Christmas themed one that I got just a month ago, so I kind of want to read that. I don't know. It'll just depend how I feel after the science fiction. If I want something light, then I'll go the historical romance. If I want to go something, if I'm okay with going with the classic, I will pick up that. I do also I want to finish my reread of The Witchwood Crown by Tad Williams, so that I can pick up the Empire Grass in the beginning part of the year, because I need to read that. I don't know. So as I said, I don't know what I'm going to read next. Let's just deal with my focusing on John Adams and Revenant Gun, and that's it. So what are you guys reading right now? How is your guys' work like during this kind of time of year? Again, ours gears up for winter. We go into repair modes, our maintenance stuff, and so we are super slammed, and we're short-handed, so it's very chaotic, and everybody wants everything, right away, and I don't have that many people or time. So it's just, I spend half my time changing my schedule, because again, I'm a scheduler. Anyway, so it's like, I just need to get through. Get me through the holiday, I get a couple of days off, I gotta be at home, hang out with the cats. I have some grand plans for my library that I might be moving some things around. And, Other than that, I think I'll only have one other video coming out this week, just as a heads up. I have my oldest books on my TBR. So look out for that midweek, about maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure what day I'll upload it. So anyway, that's it. Hope you guys, what are you guys reading right now? Anything good? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.